Baek Kang-hyuk is basically Dr. Romantic Kim in his wild, adrenaline junkie phase. Sure, the trauma code had moments where the logic was shakier than treating a heart attack with a band-aid. But who cares? It was pure entertainment. Kang-hyuk wasn't just a doctor. He was practically a Marvel hero in scrubs, pulling off surgical feats that defied both science and sanity. Over the top? Definitely. Unrealistic? Absolutely. But admit it, you were here for the drama, not a medical textbook. And that's what makes the trauma code so wild and fascinating. It has the pulse-racing intensity of Dr. Romantic, the heartwarming friendships of Hospital Playlist, and just enough chaos to keep you binge-watching. But is it a perfect blend of all these iconic elements, or just a flashy attempt to ride the wave of its legendary predecessors? Let's break it down and find out. If heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat medical drama is your thing, the trauma code delivers in spades. Right from the jump, it throws us into chaotic, adrenaline-fueled emergencies that feel ripped straight from Dr. Romantic's playbook, only bigger, louder, and even more dramatic. And let's talk about Joo Ji-hoon's as Dr. Baek Kang-hyuk. He's dodging explosions on a motorcycle to deliver antibiotics to a hospital. If that's not setting the tone, I don't know what is. Like Dr. Romantic's legendary Dr. Kim Sabu, Kang-hyuk is the unflinching, rule-breaking genius surgeon who thrives in chaos. His ability to make life-or-death calls in seconds keeps the stakes sky-high. Take that scene where he fast ropes out of a helicopter to reach a patient. Because why drive when you can make an entrance that screams, hero? But it's not just adrenaline-fueled theatrics. The trauma code dives deep into the ethical dilemmas and bureaucratic nightmares of running a trauma center. Kang-hyuk's fiery clashes with hospital administrators, who care more about balance sheets than patients, feel ripped straight from Dr. Romantic's greatest hits. Like when Kang-hyuk publicly calls out the hospital, demanding better resources for his team. Talk about a mic drop moment. The leadership dynamics are equally compelling. Kang-hyuk's tough love mentorship of the rookie Dr. Young Jae-won adds emotional heft to the chaos. Watching Jae-won evolve from a shaky, overwhelmed resident to a confident, capable surgeon feels both earned and satisfying, capturing that signature Dr. Romantic blend of personal growth and professional triumphs. And let's not ignore the raw, unfiltered portrayal of trauma medicine. The surgeries? Graphic. The ER scenes? Pure chaos. It's gritty, intense, and almost horror movie level in its realism. But that's exactly why it hooks you. You're not just watching a drama, you're in the operating room, feeling every moment as it unfolds. So, does the trauma code bring the same tension and authenticity as Dr. Romantic? Oh, it does, only it dials everything up to 11. If you're here for high-stakes medical drama with a side of cinematic flair, this is a ride you don't want to miss. Of course, adrenaline can only get you so far. What keeps viewers truly hooked is the chaotic yet heartwarming camaraderie among the medical staff. Think Hospital Playlist with a bit more chaos and a lot more scalpel-induced miracles. Leading the charge is Baek Kang-hyuk, who's like a hurricane wrapped in a lab coat. His tough love leadership doesn't just bark orders. It pushes his team to defy the impossible. Watching him command a trauma ward is like seeing a maestro conduct an orchestra during an earthquake. And somehow, it just works. Then there's Young Jae-won, the ultimate underdog with a heart of gold and nerves of jello. Watching him face his fears, sometimes thanks to Kang-hyuk literally shoving him into the deep end, is equal parts heartwarming and hilarious. And his clumsy missteps? Comedy gold. Han Yurim starts off as the cocky guy you love to hate. But surprise, he grows a spine and becomes the unexpected comic relief when things get way too intense. His transformation from annoying to crucial team player is surprisingly satisfying. And of course, there's Cheon Jangmi, the glue holding this wild circus together. She's playful, fearless, and the quiet powerhouse keeping the trauma ward from falling apart. When she's not cracking jokes to cut through the tension, she's the one going the extra mile for her patients. What makes the trauma code hit different is how these characters go from chaotic colleagues to a makeshift family that thrives on mutual respect, wild banter, and sheer determination. Does it hit those Hospital Playlist vibes? 100%. But the trauma code cranks up the unpredictability, delivering its own unique brand of heartfelt chaos that'll keep you hooked. So, with all these familiar elements, does the trauma code simply ride the coattails of its predecessors, or does it carve out its own identity? The trauma code isn't just another medical K-drama trying to mimic the success of Dr. Romantic or hospital playlist. It boldly carves out its own space with a perfect blend of action, character-driven drama, and a lighter, more entertaining tone that keeps you hooked. At the core is Baek Kang-hyuk, a charismatic force of nature who can save lives, crush hospital politics, and deliver rousing speeches with the swagger of a rock star. Ju Ji-hoon nails the role, balancing arrogance, charm, and fierce dedication in a way that rivals Nam Kung-min's iconic performances. And let's not ignore the impeccable style, because this man saves lives in outfits that belong on the cover of GQ. Hospital politics meets heroic case. While the hospital's relentless focus on profits provides a steady source of tension, the heart of the show is Kang-hyuk's daring exploits and the growth of his team. Even the senior doctors who initially scoff at his idealism slowly start rethinking their priorities. It's leadership done right, with a dash of chaos. Yang Jae-won, the ultimate underdog with "I'm so screwed" written all over his face. Watching him go from a nervous wreck to a confident doctor who stands his ground is both hilarious and inspiring. Cheon Jang-mi, the no-nonsense nurse and backbone of the trauma center. Initially wary of Kang-hyuk, she earns his affectionate, and totally accurate, nickname, Gangster. Her calm demeanor during emergencies makes her the glue holding the team together. Han Yurim. He starts off as that annoying colleague you want to mute, but he evolves into a surprising source of comedic relief and a dependable team member when it counts. Kang-hyuk's playful nicknames for his team, like calling Jae-won Anus, yes, that happened, add a layer of humor and camaraderie that keeps things lively, even during tense situations. Unlike traditional hospital dramas that focus on patient consultations and scheduled surgeries, the trauma code thrives on pure, unfiltered chaos. Emergency situations explode out of nowhere, keeping viewers on edge and forcing the characters to constantly adapt. The pacing is fast, the stakes are high, and the tight-knit cast ensures that every character gets meaningful development. The show's transparency about profit-driven hospital operations also adds a layer of social commentary that elevates it beyond a typical medical thriller. Sure, some moments are ridiculously over the top, but that's part of the charm. This isn't a documentary on hospital life. It's a wild, thrilling ride where heroism, humor, and heart collide. Watch it with that mindset, and you'll have an absolute blast. And let's be real, if there's any justice in the K-drama world, we'll be getting a season 2 to bring this lovable band of chaos makers back together. After binging countless medical dramas, from House to The Good Doctor to New Amsterdam, they all start to blur into one giant operating table of recycled plots. But the trauma code, Heroes on Call, manages to stand out by embracing a quirky, unhinged, and ridiculously entertaining tone that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Look, I'll just say it. Yes, I had a blast watching this drama. It's undeniably fun. But as someone who's spent way too much time in drama land, I've seen the blueprint 1,000 times. It follows the recipe. You know the drill. Bring back a godly doctor with a tragic backstory. Let him clash with hospital higher-ups. Add a loyal resident who idolizes him. Sprinkle in dramatic life-saving moments. Boom. You've got a drama that feels like reheated leftovers. Don't get me wrong, the whole golden hour saves lives. Message and commentary on budget cuts are worth acknowledging. But do I need another drama to hammer that point home for the 100th time? So what saves this show from mediocrity? Distinct characters with sitcom-level energy, razor-sharp one-liners, heartwarming patient stories, sizzling chemistry, and a flair for the dramatic. It's basically a finely tuned nostalgia machine, but it works. The trauma code isn't here to reinvent the genre, but it knows exactly how to entertain. It's trope-heavy, high-stakes, and unapologetically dramatic. Realistic? Nope. But when the drama's this juicy, who even cares? What about you? Did the trauma code live up to your expectations or just ride the coattails of its predecessors? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one.